Hi everyone, this is Mr. Atlético Ottawa coach. Hello from Spain and welcome to our preseason. We are happy, we are so glad to back to keep in touch with the ball and on the field. The players are very happy because we miss a lot to back on the court with everyone, and we enjoy that and excellent amenities here in Los Angeles de San Rafael.
I think the team camaraderie is coming together well. Everyone seems to get along very well in the hotel. Lots of jokes, lots of laughs, and I think the chemistry will be very good this year.
The players are very happy because we need to be back to train. They spend a lot of time outside the field, and we did excellent work and we continue to improve all together.
C'est sûr que les installations sont vraiment incroyables de pouvoir s'entraîner aux installations de l'Atlético de Madrid, de voir qu'il y a des pros qui s'entraînent ici chaque année, puis de pouvoir, c'est assez motivant, c'est assez inspirant. Donc c'est assez cool de pouvoir s'entraîner aux installations de l'Atlético de Madrid.
Training's been good so far. I know a lot of the guys were itching to get back with such a long off season. Everyone's excited to be back. Training's been a good intensity. We started off kind of easier and now we're starting to pick up the intensity, and yeah, we're all looking forward to get back playing again.
We are very happy because we build excellent structure with the player, with the old and the new player, and we are very happy because I think we build a very competitive team for the 2021 season. We can wait to start the competition very soon. Hi Atlético Ottawa fan, we can wait to meet you everyone at TD Place very soon. Big hug from Spain.
I'm Eddie Bennett. And I'm Thomas Stockton. And tonight we got the Atlético Ottawa season preview. As ever, brought to you live by Capital City supporters. We got fan panels. We got analysis. Special guests. And so much more. All can be found on the 2021 Capital City season preview. Join us tonight on our YouTube channel, CCSG. See you then.
Get me on, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Don't know how many of those videos you caught just then, but seeing the team training in Spain, Mister speaking in Spanish, and then of course, Eddie and I walking down a bright alley where you can tell I need to lose some of my COVID-15 that I put on. I am so psyched for the upcoming season and so psyched for you guys to be with us this evening as well. Got a ton of content coming for you later on. Before we go into that, of course, you're going to see many of these things scrolling along the bottom of your screen throughout the course of the evening. Head to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever else at Capital City SG to like us on all the social media. You're probably watching this on a laptop, so you got your phone in your hand. Go do that now. But the most important thing you can do at the start of this is sign up for free. Yes, I did say free. For free today to be a part of the Capital City supporters group here in Ottawa for Atlético Ottawa. You just head to our website. You can see it coming round the bottom of your screen right about now. There we go, capitalcitysupporters.com. You click on membership, you pop your email address and your name in, and boom, just like that, you're a member and you're going to have access to all the great content that we produce throughout the year, as well as getting part of the more supporters things we're going to be able to do now that the light's at the end of the tunnel, guys. Pandemic's coming up. I'm going to be able to do more in person as well. So the little rundown for you for this evening. We've got a variety of things coming up. As I mentioned, we'll be looking into some fan starting 11s with some fan guests coming on with us. My boy Eddie and I are going to be going through the CPL format, the kickoff in Winnipeg, some of the new players that have signed, obviously the returning players as well. And, we got a load more content as well. The director of ticketing, Nick Ryan, being with us, and maybe even a special guest at the end. But of course, as mentioned, there's only one person I like to do these broadcasts with, and that is 613 Sports and Capital City's very own Eddie Benhin. You'll join me in here, Eddie. How we doing?
I'm doing great. The season's almost here, and I can almost get a haircut soon. So I don't know what I'm more excited about. But
you beat me to it. We were arguing over who was going to do the haircut joke because the mop on my head needed to be done with. Eddie, great to have you this evening. You've got an eclectic array of scarves and memorabilia behind you, and a shirt that's a little bit louder than your own voice as well, which is hard to do.
I mean, I'm a match day officer. I'm ready to bring the noise to the stadium, so I got to start bringing the noise here with my shirt.
Absolutely. And for more info on how Eddie's going to be bringing the noise, make sure you stick around until the end of this broadcast as well. And as Eddie's going to be taking you through all of that. But Eddie, my boy, there's only one place we could possibly begin here, right? And that is the CPL format for this upcoming season. Third year for the Canadian Premier League. Had a full season, had an Island Games, and now we got a little bit of both, an amalgamation of both. So run it down for those who maybe haven't been, heads in the sand like we have with Canadian soccer surrounding us for the last 6 months. How's it going to work?
For sure. Like you said, it's going to be a mixture of both. So the first half of the season is called the kickoff. It's going to be a bubble in Winnipeg. Every team is going to play 8 games. Now, when this bubble is done, so the term is going to run from June 26th to July 24th. When the games are done, all the teams are going to go play back at home. So 10 games at home, 10 games away. Now, the schedule, we only have the schedule for the bubble, but that schedule is for Atlético Ottawa. We're going to play all the Western teams twice. This is to limit travel, but there are 2 teams that I want to talk about. We're playing Edmonton twice, which is going to be pretty important for Dylan Powley, and we also play Pacific twice. And why is that important, Thomas?
Well, as Eddie just mentioned there, we have a couple of players who have been moving across clubs as they tend to do in the CPL as well. But in particular for Atlético Ottawa, who are a brand new club, it hasn't quite happened for them. Yeah, we had Ben Fisk last season obviously come in and put in a stellar performance as the captain. But this was the first off-season where they were going to try and pluck a little bit of talent. As Eddie mentions, Dylan Powley, the goalkeeper for Edmonton, is coming in and sliding himself between the pipes. And that's going to be very interesting, especially for the opening game. But there is a young chap who's going to be making his way from the beauty of the West Coast to the stunning shores of the Ottawa River. And that is Zach Verhoeven, who is with me right now. How are we doing, Zach? Oh, matey. Oh, I've got a little audio thing here. Can I hear you now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I got scared there. I was like, oh, no, man, if I can't have my chat with Zach. How are you doing, pal?
Good.
Oh,
we got Malcolm Shaw here too.
Oh, we got Malcolm. Hello, mate. Is he giving you a haircut this evening?
He got me today.
Now, for the people watching, you got to know that Zach and I had a little conversation about this, and he said he would stand in solidarity with the mop head gang and not get the fresh fade, and he has thrown me under a bus.
Oh man, my bad. I had to look good, play good, right?
There we go. So Zach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great for the fans here locally to get a look at you in. You got the training gear on as well.
That's the polo.
That's the polo. Lovely stuff. Looking at you in the red and dark blue of Atlético Ottawa, which may I just say suits you far more than those Pacific colours as well.
Thank you.
So Zach, first of all, there's a variety of things I could talk to you about. One of the things I do want to touch on, being a European man myself.
Yeah.
You're a 22-year-old chap, signed for Ottawa, and then you're whisked away to Madrid, which is a stunning city. Tell me about the experience, dude. What did you make of the city?
Yeah, it was an unreal experience, honestly, and it was my first time in Europe. But when we got there, it's just when you're in Spain, you can tell you're there. When you're just looking out, the culture there, the streets, it was beautiful. And then of course we got to visit the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. It was, man, just being there we just took it all in. Like the stadium is just massive.
You're giving me goosebumps like talking about it. I remember like as a young man, I like loving football myself. Like just the opportunity to see any of the world's biggest stadiums is fantastic. But the Metropolitano, as you say, is a ridiculous stadium, and you guys are there during Atlético de Madrid's like title run-in as well. Were you feeding off that atmosphere as well?
Yeah, we were watching that final game as well. We were watching the celebrations. It was crazy. The city was just going crazy. So, I mean, just to be part of this club and then for them to win La Liga too while we were there, it was awesome. So
I mean, like, obviously, like, that's the Spanish outlet. There's the association, obviously, between these two clubs. But how did you guys find that? Was it like almost one of those like, oh, this is our team and they're winning, and like get you really pumped up for that kind of like emotion again in the CPL?
No, how the club is here, we're all a family here, and they make us feel at home, like we're part of this club. So for Atletico Madrid to win, for us, we were all celebrating. We were actually staying in the academy. So all the younger ages were with us, and we were all celebrating together. So it was awesome. Like the camaraderie was great. So
how was the language barrier? Are many of the younger kids in the Atletico de Madrid formation, did they speak a lot of English?
Not too much. But myself, I was struggling a bit throughout the trip. I was pointing to a lot of menus, but I learned a couple words. But I mean, yeah, learning Spanish is something now that maybe I would be into getting to learn. So
yeah, it needs to come on the cards. I know you're an athlete yourself, Zach, but personally, I learned one Spanish phrase and it saw me through all of my trips. Dos cerveza, por favor. There you go. That's all you need. 2 beers.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Of course, you're a professional. You're an athlete yourself. You don't dabble in that. What about the cuisine and stuff, matey? I mean, like the Spanish food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Did you guys dabble into it? I mean, the club must have like had you hooked up with special training meals and a regimen.
No, it was good. And the first place we stayed, we actually had the Atletico Madrid first team chef. So we were dining. We were dining pretty well. So
yeah, dining's an understatement.
Yeah, it was very good. So
oh, fantastic! If you had to pluck a couple of things away from the experience, what really stands out to you, both like as a footballer and as we mentioned, like a young lad popping over to Europe for the first time?
I mean, as we talked about, the Wanda Metropolitano for sure stands out. Also, halfway through the trip, we went into the city of Segovia, and we went to like the Royal Palace, and it was unreal. Like I was walking up these spiral steps to the top of a palace and looking off to the crazy view of Madrid, and it's just like you need to be there to experience it. It's crazy. And also, I'd say the training facilities we trained at. Yeah, I mean, you walk into the facility and there's like 10 to 12 fields, turf fields. You got the gyms, and we saw the women team there where they play, and it's a beautiful grass field. So yeah, it's all like top class facilities, and yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. I know this is like a bit of a silly and obvious question, but you got to take advantage of what this club is going to give you as well. So like how much of a step forward, like how much of a step up do you think that these weeks away in Spain has given you guys has given Atlético de Ottawa like as a club, but as well as you guys as a team, like that time to really gel and have a good preseason? What do you think that's given to the side?
No, I think initially just getting there and then like meeting your teammates initially, I think it really helped because we were living together right away, and we were just getting to know each other. We're playing cards. Maybe if we were back here in Ottawa, we would all go to training and then go back to our own places. So being there we stayed for 2 months there. So I mean, just getting to know all the guys is great. We have a very close group, and we're all very excited to start and get ready for that first game. So.
And obviously you said like first time heading over to Spain, you guys were there for 2 months, as you said, like there for a lot longer than expected as well. How did you find that? Because don't get me wrong, like the person on the outside, I'm like, you're a professional footballer, you're being flown to Spain, you're dined, you're training, you're living the professional life at that point. But when you expect to go for a certain amount of time and then you end up being extended, Dylan was telling me about how it was like 1 week at a time kind of thing. So how did you find that? Did you find it a little bit like towards the end you were itching to get back and like maybe get closer, same time zone as the family and friends and stuff like that?
For me personally, I didn't mind because I just really enjoyed the country, just being there. And I know I'm not sure if I'll be able to go back, and hopefully we will be able to go back with the team or myself personally. But for me, I just want to take in every day there, just take it in. And, you know, now that I'm back, it's like, now you're thinking, oh, I wish I could go back maybe for a couple of days.
Absolutely.
But it was great. I loved every moment of it, honestly.
So you're going from one bubble in the heart of Spain to a bubble in the heart of Manitoba. So we're heading to the kickoff, and as mentioned, as we segued into this segment, a bit like your mate Dylan, you're facing your old club twice. So how do you feel about that?
No, I mean, of course, it's in the back of my mind. Like, I saw the schedule, and those games it's just gonna help me get up for a game like that. You know, it's just exciting. I find it exciting to play my old team. But of course, my head right now is on June 26th against Edmonton. But I'll definitely be ready. Definitely be ready for those games. I'm excited. So.
Fantastic. Well, Zach, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us and giving us a little insight into what it seems like the isolation hotel room experience. Glad to see Malcolm there. I know. I hope you're not too high up. I hear Malcolm gets a little bit dizzy when he deals with heights. So
Malcolm, he's a little baby.
Well, Zach, thank you so much, matey. Hopefully we can catch up again soon, and best of luck for the 26th.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. We'll be cheering from you back in Ottawa. Cheers, man.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Perfect. Cheers. There we go. So Zach Verhoeven, how good was that, guys? Getting a little look and insight into the lives of some of the players here locally, their trip out to Spain. Eddie, going to drag you back on, matey, because he was one of the new signings. We've obviously got a few returning players. We've got the likes of Malcolm Shaw, who we saw pop his head in there with his, he's a hair cutter at heart, man, not a footballer. We got we got VT coming back in. We got Kapoor, we got John, we got Neufville, we've got McKendry. Yeah, we've got quite a few good core returning players there for a squad this year. But we've got quite a few new faces as well on the sheet. So do you want to wrap us through some of the new signings, mate?
Yeah, for sure. We had a lot of turnover. We have, I think, about around 12 new players signed. So first off, Drew Becky. He's returning back to Ottawa. You know, previously played for the Fury, so he's coming back. We also then had Chris Manella, who was also returning former Fury player. And then into the goalie position, we had Dylan Powley. And then moving up forward, we had Webb. And obviously, you guys just saw Verhoeven. And Ryan Telfer is also going to add a lot more offense to this team. And back in goalie, we have a budding star in Obadal. And lastly, we also signed Brian Wright. And we also have a couple more players which we don't have graphics for, but we do have Acosta. We have Keyshawn Ferdinand, which is on loan from CF Montreal. He's going to be a pretty good defender. People are saying that he's a fullback, but a lot of people are saying now he's been playing out of center back, so that's going to be pretty interesting to watch. And obviously, we have Rafael Nunez, the U19 Atletico Madrid Academy player. I want to touch on him for sure. I'm going to start.
Wow. I was going to ask you about some of the new signings that have really sort of piqued your interest, because I mean, it's so hard to pick one, and I was like, I can't do that. So I think I'm going to ask you to pick three. So hit off. I know Nunez. Every time you mention him, your eyes light up, and he's not a player a lot of people may know about, not a household name, but he could be one in a few years, couldn't he?
Oh, for sure. I mean, U19 Academy player from Atletico Madrid. People say, he's an attacking winger, but I think he can play any kind of creative role on this team. People, the same way people were idolizing Acuna.
Yeah.
Here's my bold statement. Bold t-shirt for a bold statement. He's going to be the exact same. By the end of the season, he's going to be a budding star in here. I'm telling you, this is a player to watch. I am super excited for this. Nunez, prove me right, please. I don't want to look like a fool. But I honestly believe that he's going to pop off this season.
So you're saying at the end of this season, you think we're going to be holding a player like Nunez in the same quarter? Because we put Acuna, on that pedestal last year. He was the guy, flashes of brilliance here and there. So you reckon that the game time he gets, Nunez is going to be one that really gets us out of our seats?
For sure. That's my guarantee.
I like it. We're going to have a segment in the future for CCSG, I think, which is bold shirts and bold statements, and we'll get Eddie to host that one. Eddie, go on, give us a couple of other players.
Drew Becky. Drew Becky, he played in Ottawa. He's an experienced player. He's going to help this team not only on the field, but also just as a team with his veteran experience. I'm super excited for him to come back as well.
Yeah, Drew Becky is one of those where, as you say, his presence on the field is going to be as influential as his presence off of it. He was super implicated with the community when he was back in Ottawa before, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a nice charity going on called Waiting in Grief Shadow, basically help with kids who lost parents due to cancer or anything. And when I talked to him, he said he's looking forward to restarting it here. So that's something if you guys want to know about, you can check out Capital City, the In Focus article with Drew Becky.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is he has the linguistic skills, doesn't he?
Yeah, he can speak Spanish, which is, it's perfect with a Spanish team. So honestly, it's a perfect fit, and I'm very excited to see him come back.
All right. So Drew Becky, who we've gone with like the older, the more experienced guy, the level head, potentially arguably one of the captain front runners as well. I know we've kind of discussed that as well. We've got Nunes, who is the new generation, this first time where we're really connecting, that real connection between Madrid and Ottawa. Love that, those two capital cities combining and giving a platform for Nunes. And go on, give me a third one.
Third one, he's a Detroit City FC legend, Claude Lawson. Honestly,
okay.
This team has so much depth going forward that he's a player not a lot of people are talking about. But let me tell you, this player, he's a baller. He's a baller. I think he had around like 39 goals in 63 appearances. He was named the top goal scorer for Detroit City in every season from 2017 to 2019. He's a natural goal scorer. And when he was signed to Ottawa, you should have seen the way the fans were responding to him. They love him there. And I think he's going to quickly become a club favorite here. And I think he's going to be putting a lot of balls in net.
Okay. As you said, we got some great depth up front. We got Wright, we got Shaw, obviously coming back from last year, as well as Jean-Claude Lawson. So yeah, great depth. Super excited seeing how those three pan out. Make a note of it, everyone who's watching, what you think of that. But obviously, there's one thing talking about the new players. But how do you get to watch them? That's the main thing, right? How do we get to watch them? There's been an abundance of information come out recently. As we mentioned at the start, the format for the league has been announced. We sort of know what's going on there. We know that there is a bubble called the Kickoff in Winnipeg. But how does one get to see your favorite players play in person? Well, joining me as he joins me all the time, because I like to pester him and absolutely grab onto his ear and ask him all the information about the club, is the director of ticketing for Atlético Ottawa, Mr. Nick Ryan. Hello, mate. Oh, there we go. He's geared
Thomas,
up.
how are you? Thank you for the great introduction.
Oh, absolutely. You're more than welcome. I do get really disappointed by the fact your beard is always far better trimmed than mine when you come on. I hear that you got a little trim. Was it today or is it tomorrow you're getting it?
I have a friend coming to the backyard to give me a little haircut. So I'm wearing the hat tonight. So we got one more day of hiding the flow. So I decided to throw it on and not embarrass myself here.
Absolutely. It'll be the last time I mention it, guys, because I'm running the hair thing into the ground. I'm just warm and I want it off my head. But Nick, some of the things we wanted to talk about tonight is a little bit obviously about membership, season tickets for the upcoming season. For those of you who haven't watched, Eddie and Nick had a wonderful conversation last week, sat down half an hour and got almost absolutely everything under the sun answered in terms of what people can know. Nick, if you could give us just a quick Coles note lay down of how people can see the players live at TD and what they need to do.
Definitely. I mean, the first thing is, who isn't excited to see the team live at TD Place? It's going to be awesome. I know, Tom, it's going to be your first game at TD Place, so I'm excited to be with you there. But season tickets are on sale now. We're encouraging people to book phone calls with me. Now, the booking calendar is filled up pretty quick. But you can definitely send me an email. Just give me a call. I've been pretty good at proactively getting through everyone who's reached out. Tickets start very low. I believe $110 for kids and $201 for adults. That's to see all 11 games at TD Place. It's a socially distanced stadium, so everyone's set up safe distance apart. We don't know exactly all the protocols and everything that's going to be in place, but we're preparing for an August start with 11 games. And really just get on it now because seats are limited, especially on the south side. So shoot me a message, give me a call. Happy to help everyone out. The response has been amazing so far. So thank you to everyone who has gone and done exactly what I'm preaching right now.
Yeah, so and the $201 is even more of a steal when you remember that in a country where fees and taxes are never included, it includes them as well, doesn't it?
Great point. Everything is included. That's an all-in price, so there's no nothing hidden there. You're going to pay $201 for the least expensive ticket. I encourage you to sit up in the club, go to the north side, be on the south side, wherever you want to be. They're all as affordable as possible. We have payment plans as well, so appreciate the tire pump there, Thomas.
You're very welcome, very welcome. I'm going to go from a tire pump to throwing you a little bit of a spanner, and hopefully you got an answer for me. A great thing that there's so much interest, and great thing, and like obviously the club being set up in the middle, essentially as a pandemic was starting, has left some stuff like you're still finding your feet and sorting out the best systems. I, for example, have booked my phone call with you, but it's a great thing to hear it, but seeing my phone call's not until the 10th of July means it's a little bit away. I know, of course, I'm going to get my stuff sorted and my season tickets sorted before the season starts at TD, as we said, with that planning date in August. But one of the big selling points for this current membership is you get the one soccer code as well to be able to see everything that's going on in the bubble included. But that starts on the 26th of June, and with the phone call not booked till the 10th of July, what's going to happen for people like me who are getting their tickets after?
Yeah, so June 26th, first game against FC Edmonton in the bubble. Phenomenal. One Soccer, we made a decision to include it in the package. It's good until March 31st of 2022. So no issues with the expiry date on those. We're good to go until the next season. And hopefully we'll have everyone renewed much before then. So if you're in the position where your call isn't until July or late June or after the first match, I encourage everyone to reach out to me. There's already been an occasion or two where, someone I can tell is very adamant about getting tickets. Maybe their paychecks comes in next week, or the phone call couldn't be booked in time. Happy to give you your One Soccer code if you give me your word that you're going to buy tickets in a week or two, just to get you rolling on One Soccer. So I've been putting in some extra hours and will be up until much past August. So just send me a message, give me a phone call. Always answering, always responding, and at the best time that I can, and we'll make sure you get your code before June 26th.
Fantastic. I'm hoping that helps out a couple of the viewers out there, but it definitely it helps me out, which was the whole point of that anyway. So one of the other interesting things about the season tickets this year is that the ticketless system, isn't it? It's not, you don't get that physical ticket, it's more of a virtual thing. How is that going to work, Nick? Especially if, say, for example, I can't make it, but I want to try and transfer it to a buddy to keep him to keep that supporters atmosphere going. How is that going to work?
And it's a great question. Everything's going mobile in the ticketing world now. Tickets are on the phone. We're working on ways that we can help anyone who maybe doesn't have a smartphone or doesn't have the ability to scan a ticket off a phone. We'll figure that out for you. As for transferring your tickets, it's super easy. You literally just open a ticket on your phone, hit the transfer button, type in the person's name and phone number, and then it literally sends them a text message. Hey, you've been sent a ticket by Thomas. And then you just press accept and you show that ticket on the way in the building.
Oh, so I can act like this gracious benefactor who just fires off a ticket to his mate.
You got it. So it's super easy. It's called eVenue, is what we use the account system through. And everyone who buys a season ticket gets access to eVenue to view your purchase history as well as your tickets when we do get a schedule towards.
Just a sec to sort of plug how people can get in touch with you. But of course, I do really don't waste the man's time. He's putting in overtime already. He's putting in the extra hours to make everything as good and as accessible for us. So please head to the Capital City YouTube channel and watch the chat Nick and Eddie had together last week, because I can guarantee that it will answer 99% of your questions. But Nick, we see some stuff rolling along the bottom. If people do need to reach out about something sensitive or specific that they can't get an answer to otherwise, how can they get hold of you?
Yeah, exactly. Email along the bottom now, nicholas.ryan@atléticoottawa.club. You can also reach out to tickets@atléticoottawa.club. And my personal phone number, which is the Atlético Ottawa phone number, 905-431-0294, comes to my direct phone here. So happy to talk to anyone anytime.
Lots of funny emojis sent your way. Got your back. Nick, before we move on to another little segment here, I just have one last question for those who were part of the collective last season. The one real thing that they're still waiting on are those badges, isn't it? So, got any news on those?
Yeah, I do have the badges. I've had them for a little bit. I don't have them to show you because they're actually in the basement. I forgot to bring them up. I was going to show them on here. Damn. Anyway, badges are here, and we're going to have them at games for people to collect. We didn't want to send them out right away because the best way to get them pressed on is actually with a jersey press, which would be potentially available at games. But first game, we'll have a table for you to come pick up your crest. So I encourage you all to come to the debut at TD Place to get your crest and see our boys on the field.
And obviously, not that I'm going to say anyone is not committing to a season ticket, but if there are any members who aren't, or for whatever reason moving away, do they have a way? Should they just get in touch with you to figure out how to do it?
Yeah, we'll also have them at the shop there after a couple games. Once we kind of run through the table's not getting a lot of traction, and then anyone who's moving away or isn't coming to games this year due to whatever your own reasons, happy to mail it out to you for sure.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Nick, thank you very much for answering a couple more questions. I feel like we have ticketed you into the ground at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag Eddie back on with us now, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to maybe talk about something a little bit more fun, a little bit less ticket related, and maybe a little bit more club related. So Eddie, I'm going to let you take the floor here because I feel like you and Nick are about to have a bit of a soccer player related grilling. Oh, I said soccer. I hate myself.
Yeah. Well, I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing me questioning you, but we asked you for your starting 11. Yeah. And we received your starting 11. So when it's on the screen, I'm going to grill you on this, right? All right. So you've been around this team for 2 years. You know Malcolm Shaw for 2 years, and there's no Malcolm Shaw there. What's the deal? Did you not like cut your hair or something? Like, what's going on there?
So, I mean, we've all heard the term super sub, right? I think Malcolm Shaw is our super sub. I think he's going to pot a lot of goals this year. I think that him and Wright are almost interchangeable, but I would put Wright just slightly above with the USL experience. And he, I met him in person in February, and he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in that in the box. So I would put him just slightly above, but I think they're almost interchangeable.
All right. Well, Malcolm, if you're watching this,
super sub, Eddie, super sub.
If you're watching this is what he said. Don't shoot the messenger. But I like that you have Nunez there. It backs up what I said, that he's going to have a popping kind of season. So what do you have that?
I think the Spanish guys are going to have a lot of influence this year with Mista as the head coach. You got Drew Becky from the back speaking Spanish. You got and VT in the middle. I like the Spanish connection across the field here. Acosta, VT, Nunez. Up to the front, and then a swinger into Brian Wright or Malcolm Shaw, right? So I just liked the way the Acosta to VT to Nunez looked, and I think that Nunez is going to surprise a lot of people, like you said.
Perfect. So it looks like I'm not the only person that believes this, but not a bad starting lineup. 4-3-3. It's a solid and pretty normal formation, but we'll see what Mista has in store for us against Edmonton.
Exactly. But thanks, Eddie. I appreciate it. And I'm excited to see your starting 11 from afar. And I'm sure I'll send you a few messages about it to give it right back.
I'm ready. All right. Thanks, Nick. All right. And next up, we have another starting 11. I am sorry, fans, but we have Brandon starting 11. Nope. Johnny starting 11. And obviously, I'm not going to talk trash about the starting 11 without Johnny being here. So, Johnny, come on board.
What's happening?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, I mean, how you doing?
Not too bad. All right, so first question. You have two strikers, but none of them are actually strikers. You know we have three strikers to choose from. What's up? What's up with that?
So this, I knew Nick had a regular starting 11. I figured we'd have more comm heads have normal starting 11s. So I was like, I'm going to go full football manager. I knew something weird. And that's what I got here. I mean, we have the same midfield, which is good. We've got the same base. But yeah, I have two wingers up top. They're inverted. They're kind of 2 second strikers just roaming up top. I think that's a neat idea. I mean, I've got three at the back. I know you like the three at the back as well. It's really hot right now. And we've got a lot of defensive stability. And yeah, I think it's balanced. I think it's defensively solid. I think you can do counterattack. I think you can also control possession with this lineup.
I like that.
Yeah.
So usually when you have three in the back, the wing backs are usually going forward. What do you like about Acosta in terms of attacking?
I watched like a decent amount of his game tape, and I saw a few games where he had, not just assists, but he had what I like to call like a hockey assist, like a second assist. And something that should be in stats that isn't in stats. So it's the type of thing that you only really see if you watch their games. So he really has like a really good cross on him, like a deadly cross on him. And I think that, with a couple wingers roaming around the top or someone like VT also who likes to pop up top every now and then, they can find themselves on the end of one of those.
Yeah. I do have an issue, though.
Yeah.
We have a lot of depth going forward, but
Yeah.
on the defensive end, we don't have a lot of depth. And you have 5 out of the 6 defenders playing. So what happens if there's injuries?
No, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's not. This is not a sustainable lineup. I read your article earlier today, and you said that your starting 11 is for the first game. This isn't and I'm going to use that same line. I think
There we go.
We don't have the depth to keep this up all season, but I think this is a decent one-off.
No, honestly, I like this formation.
Yeah.
I like the idea of thinking outside the box with Webb and Telfer. But we'll see. Maybe you're the next genius. I know you do a lot of scouting reports, so we're going to have to wait till Edmonton, June 26th, to see what lineups there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, Johnny.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right. Now, Thomas, it's your turn to grill the people. I know I don't want to be the mean guy all the time. Your turn now.
Well, fortunately, I did get the opportunity to see some of the starting 11s before they are going to be announced this evening as well. So I'm going to bring on my next guest, who has made my life easy because I don't have to be mean. So this is, I would like to welcome Megan, who is our latest contributor, actually, to the Capital City supporters.com website. She wrote our latest Why I Joined Capital City. There we go, repping the t-shirts. She wrote our latest article, and I'm going to kick Eddie off the screen, and we're going to bring on your starting 11, and we're going to go through that as well. I mean, I've had a look at it before, and I was so excited at the opportunity for you to go straight after Johnny's absolutely ludicrous and completely wrong lineup, and we can see something that I think hits a little bit closer to home. So when we get that on here, talk us through, I mean, we can all see it, but talk us through your starting 11.
Well, honestly, I might have a slightly controversial choice as well, just because I did leave out Drew Becky, and all of you in social media land, there is a method to my madness here. Like, the only reason why I'm not putting him in the starting 11 right now is, because of the big myocarditis scare that he had, because cardiac issues are no joke, basically. So, like, I understand that Atlético Ottawa thought that they had... that he had a decent work rate health-wise, so at least hire him, which I'm fine with. But due to his recent cardiac issues, I'd just rather that Mista test the waters a little bit first by subbing him in when needed, and then just working on increasing the amount of minutes he's on the pitch until he's match fit enough to be in the starting 11 on a more permanent basis. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to put him in the starting 11 under normal circumstances, especially since I didn't see him play in 2015. But I'm not so selfish to put his own health in jeopardy, by just putting him in the starting 11 right now.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting one as well, and it's sort of going with that security of the back four. Drew Becky hasn't played in the CPL yet. We don't quite know, obviously, as you're stating right there, Mista's going to be the best one with all the knowledge about how Drew Becky's fitness is right now. And on top of that, you mentioned a really good thing about like sort of the rotation as well in the kickoff in Winnipeg. There's a lot of games and they're coming thick and fast almost, and they're going to be at a variety of different times of the day. Yeah. And I think having that ability to rotate the back, unlike what Johnny did, which is throw on all of our defenders and hope for the best and hope none of them get injured. Yeah, a little bit more of a sustainable, to use the word that Johnny used, starting 11. There was obviously going to be the debate. Verhoeven, Zach, who we had on the show a little bit earlier, he's a very versatile player, can play all over the place. You've got him in a right back position at the moment ahead of the Spanish guy Acosta. What's your reason for picking Zach at right back?
Well, basically just so we can meet the Canadian quota too, but at the same time, like, Verhoeven could work well with the back four, but I think he could work with defense too. So with the midfield too, I'd rather say. So he does have that versatility as well. And with Manella and McKendry, like, I feel those two in particular could really, really work well together and just sort of pivot off of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got VT in a slightly more advanced role than maybe he had been. Are you expecting some more goals from the Spaniard this year?
Well, yeah, I mean, the reason why I put him there is because of that goal that he scored in the 94th minute. Like, he's a guy who does not give up and he just goes after it. So I'm really hoping that particular lightning will strike twice, and because he doesn't give up. And of course, from the Fury days, and neither does Manella either. So those two could certainly get along well as well.
Absolutely. On the wings, I think you've made some very safe choices with some explosive and really standout star players in our side. And then obviously up top, I mean, we've seen a few things all over the place. Eddie at the start of this show says Jean-Claude Lawson is one of his players to watch. Nick put right up front, and you've gone with Shaw. So are you feeling like backing the boy from last year then?
Well, it's Mr. Goal of the season, isn't he? Why wouldn't I? Like, I'd be dead if I didn't.
Absolutely. Megan, it's not something I was asking anyone else, but I'm going to ask you, considering you're here. Let's say that lineup faces Edmonton on the opening game. Give us a score prediction.
Oh, goodness. I'm usually not very good at this.
I get it wrong all the time too. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'd say like maybe 2-1, 2-0. But again, like, I'm not right. Usually very good with score predictions, but
we're going with it. Well, I'm going to say it's 2-0 because I fancy Powley is going to keep a clean sheet against the Eddies, and we'll go goal scorers. I'm going to go Shaw and VT based on what you said. We're putting it out there. Let's do it.
Cool.
Put it into that. All right, Megan.
And if I'm wrong, don't at me, people in social media land. So.
All right, Megan. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and for sharing your starting 11. And we'll grab you back on soon, I'm sure.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. I'd love to come back.
Cheers. All right, then our final starting 11 fan this evening is someone that the 613 viewers will know very well. He's behind the camera, he's in front of the camera. He knows very little, let's be honest. I'm just kidding. Brandon, can I have you on here with your starting 11? How are we doing, boy?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Doing really, really well. Thank you. I know. I'm sorry I couldn't get one of the waiters or waitresses from any of the bars to join us this evening. I know that Brandon's very much a big fan of waiters and waitresses. He's the loveliest man I've ever seen when it comes to it. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're obviously here to talk about your starting 11. So can you run us through your the boys you have on the pitch? You've gone a little bit different than everyone else.
Yeah, so I already thought most people would choose usual routes, maybe a 4-3-3, maybe spice it up with 3 at the back. But I said put 3 at the back against the Eddies. We know that they do play direct football. We'll have 3 guys at the back. It could turn into a 5 with Neufel, as well as Zach Verhoeven, as we've seen. He's very versatile, so we know he could get up the pitch. And then I also decided, instead of choosing between Shaw or Wright, why not put both of them up there? We know they can deliver goals. We will be a more attacking side if we do that, but we also have numbers in defense. And I think with Vitti in the middle, it's going to be some strong steel that we need. So it's overall pretty balanced.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at what you've got there, I mean, like defensively, we were a little bit shaky last season. So are you feeling the 3 at the back? Because your fullbacks here are super attacking. Are you not worried about getting a little bit isolated?
And I chose it for that specific reason as well, because we know Becky can also play right back, and Fernando can play left on the left and on the right. He's both footed, so it provides us with another option for another left-footed defender that we don't usually have. So if they get isolated in wide areas, we know the other one will tuck in, and they will be pretty used to being in those sorts of positions.
Absolutely, and I kind of like that with the 2 holding midfielders. You've gone with Tevin Shaw over McKendry. Obviously, we haven't had the opportunity to see anything of Tevin just yet. McKendry is someone who started to really sort of show his qualities in the Island games last year. What was the reason why you've picked Tevin over him?
Just no one else has seen him. Why not give him the opportunity? I've played with him on Football Manager, as everyone does. Atlético Ottawa, he was one of my staples. Great left foot from what I've seen. So I think he also provides a bit of flair. So him and Copan will be the guys facilitating the offense in this side.
And up front, you've decided to make the decision for yourself a little bit easier and give yourself 2 spots, but you did leave out your good friend Eddie Benhin's shout for one of the players of the season, which is Jean-Claude Lawson. What was your reason for picking Shaw and Wright up front ahead of him?
I might take a page out of Nick's book and say super sub. Every different game, desires a different sort of player. But I thought against the Eddies, we'll have two guys who can hold the ball up, bring other people into the game. And then Lawson, from what I've seen, likes to get in behind a bit more. So he could come on late game and provide more opportunities once the game starts to open up.
Absolutely. All right. I like it. In terms of your starting 11 there, then, Brandon, I did want to tear it apart completely. I feel like you've done a really good job at defending yourself. That's all I'm going to say. In terms of those starting 11 players, though, who do you think is going to be your standout one for this season?
It's hard to look past a man like Malcolm Shaw. You know he's got loads of goals in him. And what the team created around him, last year we saw that the team, when we are in creative positions with players like Acuna, he did well. And if we could get him the ball more often, higher up the pitch, we could be seeing plenty of goals this season from him.
Absolutely. All right, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on tonight, mate. We'll see, obviously, we'll be comparing all of the starting 11s, including your own, to what actually starts against the Eddies and see how close we were. But strong case, and you're absolutely right. I'm looking forward to seeing Malcolm Shaw with a bit more support this season, for sure. Cheers, Brandon. All right, there we go. So that was the end of our fan panel right there. As mentioned throughout it, Eddie Benhim, my co-host here, he has put pen to paper and got himself a starting 11. If you want to go find out all the details about that one, what you're going to do is you're going to head to 613sportsblog.com and you're going to go read their latest article there, and that's going to tell you all about Eddie's choices. Now, I have got something kind of special for the people who've stuck around and watched. It's someone who's joining us, a special guest that we haven't announced and we haven't spoken about at all, not even with anyone else behind the scenes here. So it's a bit of a surprise to everyone. He's a bit of a man, myth, and legend amongst the soccer Discord chat here. He's someone whose multiple Discord handles are actually named after the ABBA song that follows his own name, and we hope to be singing that in TD Place very soon. I'd like to welcome the CEO for Atlético Ottawa, Mr. Fernando Lopez. Fernando, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure is totally on our end, matey. Yeah, I don't know if you know, you've got a bit of a cult following here amongst the supporters, the work you've done here to get the club going, to get soccer up in the community. And sort of, as we said, like getting that culture back here is something we're all super excited to be a part of. I don't know if you know the song, Can You Hear the Drums, Fernando, by ABBA, but it's something we have now coined with you, and the supporters will be singing it in the stadium at one point. But I would like to just give you a platform just for a second, say hi to the fans and tell us what we can expect from the team this season.
Well, I think first of all, if there is someone that needs to say thank you, it's us, because the support that we have been receiving from your group and from all the supporters from Ottawa since the day that we arrived, it's been outstanding. So there is no Fernando and there is no Atlético Ottawa. There is no players. There is nothing without you guys. And I just wanted to thank you for that. Basically, that's the main message I wanted to share with the fans. I think it's great. I think we put a lot of effort in this team since day one. Probably we couldn't see much because we couldn't play in front of you, which is the main important thing of this world. But I think this year we're going to make it, and we're going to make you be proud of Atlético Ottawa and this city.
I mean, you've witnessed it firsthand, the hard work that's been ongoing, not only to put all the players together and get this roster assembled for this season, but also the hard work they put in on the training pitches in Spain as well. So what do you make of the side that Mister and the boys have put together? What can we expect from them?
Well, I think after what we did last year, that I think above all, we did a very good job due to the circumstances. We were a very competitive team, and I think we have a lot to thank and a lot to give to these players, a lot of credit. I think with a very short period of training, of competition, we play no games, and we arrived there playing our first game against York, and being with chances to making the playoffs until the last game. I think it was great. I think this year we spent, as you guys know, 2 months in Spain where we could bond together with all our guys, with the players, with the coaches. We had the time to sit with Mista to analyze exactly what he wanted to do, the positions that he was willing to reinforce. And I think that the team is a product of all of that, of the things that we learned this year, of the things that Mista wanted to have in the team. And I think that everybody's talking about a deeper team. I think we have a talented team. We put a lot of hours in this, and hopefully we will see the result against Edmonton in our first game.
And a lot of people that have been on and spoken to us this evening, including my co-host this evening, Eddie Benhin, has talking about Núñez. He's like really got some people excited. It's that first proper connection between Madrid and Ottawa now with him coming over. What can the fans expect of the kind of player that we've signed in him?
Well, I think it's a different player. Just being Dominican and Spanish means something, because he has, like this Latin character, this type of, is like a dancing with the ball. He's very technique, very skilled. He's very fast. So I think he's going to bring a lot to this team, especially in the last meters and the last quarter of the field. I think he will, even if he's very young, I don't want to put too much pressure on him because he's only 19. And this is going to be a huge step for him to fight against the big guys, against older guys, very competitive guys. This is a very physical football or soccer, which is completely different of what we have in Spain and in other countries in Europe. So I think it's going to be very good for him for his development. But I think we're going to see very, very good things from him.
Yeah, I really like there's a nice eclectic mix between the older and experienced players and some super exciting young players, including our own Antoine Couplon. We've got Núñez, of course, and then Obadao, who's coming in as the second goalkeeper as well. Fernando, we've gone through some of the older players and the new players that are coming in for this season. Is the roster complete now, or should we be keeping our ears to the floor expecting anything else?
I think we have still, I'm going to say, one secret weapon behind the curtain, and hopefully you guys will see it very soon.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna let you go, Fernando. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us this evening. And thank you so much for coming to say hi, and looking forward to hopefully bumping into you on game day at TD Place before too long.
Absolutely, anytime, man. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it, and we feel you guys.
Thank you very much. We're here for it. Cheers, Fernando. Have a lovely evening.
Bye-bye. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, how good was that? I told you the surprise was worth waiting for. CEO of Atlético Ottawa there, Fernando Lopez, coming on, giving us a little bit of a lay down about the players he's excited for. If you weren't excited for Núñez before, now you can't always take Eddie on his hot takes, but Fernando's words behind it, there's a lot of weight behind that as well, talking about the depth of the squad we have this season as well. And on top of that, a little secret weapon surprise. What on earth does that mean? I hope that the guys on Discord, Eddie's got his agent, has he? He's finding out. Eddie is on the phone figuring out right now who that little secret person is. But yeah, no, great. How excited are we for that? Make sure that obviously, if you're an Atlético Ottawa fan and you want to be part of all of the sleuthing, like the digging and trying to find out the details and the gossip of all the different players, then make sure you head onto the Canucks Abroad Discord chat, where you can join the CPL page and the Atlético Ottawa page for all of the latest content, news, gossip, little rumors. And trust me when I say, the guys who are on there have done an amazing job at even putting together strings and figuring out who might be coming to the club. And they've got a lot of them are right as well. So guys, that brings us very much towards the tail end. Johnny right there, can we hear the drums? I can hear them indeed, matey. So that brings us to the tail end of this season preview. Eddie Benhin, who's back on the screen with me right now, man. I'm going to give you a little moment to give us a little wrap out about your involvement with the supporters group and what you're going to be doing for us as matches finally come to our TD and stadium. But before you do that, just tell me, how good was it keeping it a secret from you?
I mean, you kept this a secret from me. I had my suspicions. I didn't want to ruin it. Now I want to know who the secret weapon is, and I'm not going to stop till I find it out. So I guess thanks, Fernando, for that. Now have something to do now in quarantine. But
absolutely, and if you want to be the first to find out any of the big information going, make sure you hit us up on all those socials. Capital City is where it will be. But before that, of course, it will be on Canucks Abroad Discord. So get in there, join the conversation, be part of the supporters culture here. Eddie, now tell us how we can be part of the supporters culture in person, either at games, the sort of watch parties, pardon me, that's the phrase, and of course game day as well.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been graciously named match day officer of Capital City, but I can't do everything myself. I'm gonna need all your help. So obviously the first half of the season is in a bubble, so we can't be in the stadium, but we are trying to figure out some watch parties. And when the watch parties are announced, we want everyone to show up and support. Let's take over the patio. Let's start building a supporters culture in the city. If you have any ideas of what you want to do for the watch party or once the games are back in the stadium, you guys can all contact me on my Twitter at @benhin. I want to hear any ideas you got. I want to make this a unique team. I want to be the most unique club in the league with the best supporter culture. So any ideas, I want them. And hopefully I'll see you guys at the watch parties once we have any information about that. Thomas?
Absolutely. We're gonna be organizing a lot of that stuff very soon. We're in the works of trying to put it together. As you can imagine, patios are the hottest property in Ontario at the moment. Now we can finally be sat on them, making the most of the weather and enjoying ourselves. So we will find a place. We're aiming for family friendly, so don't worry about age. And we're really going to try and get a section, especially for that first game on Saturday, the 26th versus Edmonton. Exactly the one that's on the screen right now. I'm guessing it's that way. Yeah, nailed it first time. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this evening. Getting on board. Let's build with the hype. As I said, you've got any questions about any of the stuff that's happening on game day, make sure you contact Eddie Benhin. You can find him on Twitter or obviously DM any of the Capital City socials, and we'll make sure the message gets to him as well. The most important thing you can do, apart from obviously going off and liking all of our social media pages, is becoming a member of Capital City Supporters Group. As I said at the start, it is free. You heard that right. It's free and you can do it today. It's running away at the bottom of your screen down there, but it's capitalcitysupporters.com/join-us. You just have to sign up. Super easy. It gives you first access to all of the great content that we're putting out, whether it be from videos to graphics to articles. Eddie and I are always working our pretty little bottoms off to ensure that we get as much information and content out there for you guys to try and keep building the hype around this team. If you want to get involved with us in any way, shape or form, arms are literally wide open. Come here, I'll make you a cup of tea and give you a chocolate biscuit, as we do in the UK. I would accommodate you indeed. Eddie, you don't get one. You're already part of the team. So make sure you go sign up and get involved. Make sure you're here with us on game day. Eddie, any parting words about the upcoming season? Let me know what you think.
I think it's going to be a very good season. My prediction, we're competing for a playoff spot. I don't know what One Soccer or the Canadian Premier League are talking about of us. They're not so sure about our team. I'm sure about this team. The amount of depth we have, we're going to make a blast. We're going to make a huge statement this season. Forget what happened last season. This is a new season, a new team. We're making a blast, and we're going to contend for the championship. So, Forge, the title's coming to Ottawa.
Absolutely. I'm going to get behind you and completely agree. I'm going to name a prediction right now, and you can come back to it at any point. Top three is going to be in the regular season. That's where we're going to see Atlético Ottawa this year. Super psyched about the team, not just in terms of the quality and the depth of the players, but also the characters we've got in the squad as well. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Got you off just in time. We've got half an hour before we head off, and we're all going to go support the Canadian men's national team this evening, right in the World Cup qualifiers. So you're at our one evening of doing that, and then we get right back at it, all the energy back to Atlético Ottawa. So one last time, join us. The link's down below, and thank you for watching. Bye.